Hello, I am a masked reader, and I'm going to read you a story, Four Puppies, and it is a golden book. There were once four new puppies who lived in a warm, dark corner by the stove. Those four puppies had never been outdoors. Well, they were just too little. They didn't know about the sky or the trees or grass. They didn't know about summer or fall or winter or spring until one day they were old enough to go out the door to the sunny porch. At first, the stairs were too big for the little puppies. Then one day, the stairs didn't look so big. They are smaller, said one puppy. No, we are bigger, said his brother. Then those four little puppies went flop, pop, and tumble all the way down the stairs and to the great big world outside. They sniffed fresh green grass and they raced on the grass. They rolled on the grass and they did somersaults on the grass all afternoon. Oh my, what a fine place this is, said the four little puppies. Then one day, the four little puppies went out to play and they pounced on caterpillars, they chased butterflies, and they ran around and around after their shadows. They had so much fun they hated to go in, even when there was nice hot chicken soup for supper. Then one morning, the stairs looked even smaller. No, we're even bigger, said his brother. And they walked down the stairs. Plop, plop, plop. Easy as pie. But the four little puppies were so busy playing, they didn't notice that the big world was changing. Until one day, it had changed so much they couldn't play the same games they had before. A funny little wind tickled their ears, and they didn't have shadows because the sun was behind a cloud. The grass felt cool. The butterflies had gone. The caterpillars were hiding. And the leaves, well, they began to turn yellow and red. Oh dear, cried the four little puppies. The next day, whoosh, a wind knocked all the petals off the roses, and swish, it blew the leaves right off the trees. Those four puppies tried to put the petals back on the rose, and they tried to put the petals and the leaves back on the trees, but they couldn't, and they started to cry. You're silly billies. There's nothing to cry about, said a friendly red squirrel in a hickory tree. When the leaves turn red and yellow and come off the trees, it means that summer is over and fall has come. Why, you'll have more fun than ever. And the squirrel was right. Leaves as crisp as cornflakes covered the ground. The four little puppies scuffled around in the trees and buried themselves under the leaves and kicked leaves up in the air. They had so much fun that they hated to go inside, even when there were lamb chops for supper. Then one morning, when the puppies went out to play, they didn't have to walk. They went down the stairs two at a time. They were even smaller, said one puppy. No, we're even bigger, said his brother. But they didn't see that the big world was changing until it had changed so much they couldn't play the same games anymore. The water in the puddles were hard as glass. A rough wind blew their ears back and blew the leaves clear out of the yard. Can you guess what's coming next? Oh dear, cried the little puppies. They tried to hold onto the leaves, but still they blew away faster and faster. So the puppies started to cry. You silly Billies, there's nothing to cry about, said the friendly red squirrel in the hickory tree. When the ice on the puddles and the north wind blows, it means that fall is over and winter has come. You'll just have more fun than ever. Were you able to guess that it was winter that was about to come? And the squirrel was right. For the next day, when the puppies went out to play, everything was white with snow. Every day after that, the four little puppies parted the snow with their noses, slid down the banks, and made footprints in the snow. They had so much fun that they hated to go inside, even where there were big beef bones for supper. One morning, the puppies were so big that they jumped down the stairs three at a time. They didn't notice that the world was changing too. Until it had changed so much, they couldn't play the same games anymore. The sunshine was warmer. It was raining, but there really wasn't rain. It was dripping from the trees. The snowbank was too small to slide down. And the next day, there were brown patches all over the ground with no snow at all. Oh dear, cried the poor little puppies. They tried to push the snow together and make a pile so they could still play with it, but the snow turned to water and sank into the ground right under their paws. So the puppies started to cry. You are silly Billies. There's not one thing to cry about, said the friendly red squirrel in the hickory tree. When the sun gets warmer and melts the snow, it means that winter is over and spring has come. It's just like a wheel that goes around and around. And the squirrel was right. Some tiny green stalks poked up out of the ground. The puppies and the stalks grew bigger and bigger every day. Then one day, the puppies jumped down the steps all at once. And they found that the leaves and the flowers were on every stalk. And that's how the big world looked when they first saw it. And they began to bark happily, for they had guessed what comes after spring. Summer is what comes after spring, cried the first puppy. Butterflies again. Then fall, said the second puppy. Crisp leaves. Then winter, said the third puppy. Nice white snow. And then spring again, said the fourth puppy. Brand new leaves. And everything starts all over again every spring. All the puppies cried and danced together. The friendly red squirrel looked down at them from the hickory tree. Now that you know all of that, you are not puzzled little puppies anymore. And he was right. But what are we? You are big, brave dogs, he said. That was the story of the four puppies. I hope you enjoyed it. Can you guess who I am?